Fawda, or in Arabic, it means chaos. This is the word that my dad uses to describe the situation in Lebanon, where he lives among 4 to 5 million people in a country where food, cash, electricity, fuel, and much more essential items for continuing your day-to-day activity is scarce. Yet, out of this fawda or chaos in Lebanon, a new economy has emerged, an economy that is built on what we call an open, neutral, borderless, and decentralized type of money, an economy built on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Was it always the case of chaos in Lebanon? Unfortunately, it was. But out of chaos, a new life came and a new way of transacting and carrying value came. My name is Tay, and I am known as the Invisible Man. Why the Invisible Man? Because as you can see on my driving license, it is written I am born in unknown. I'm born in Kuwait, I'm raised in Lebanon, I lived in Dubai, and now I'm based in the Netherlands. And just like me, today there are 290 million children around the world that do not have birth certificates. Now, I consider myself to be blessed because at birth I had this document and I lost it at the age of 5 during the Gulf War in Kuwait. While 290 million children today do not have access to basic human rights like education, like money, like healthcare, and much more. The title Invisible is given by the UN to people who do not have birth certificates. Did I know this? Of course not. I discovered what what being invisible is the moment that chaos came into my life. Before we talk about that, let me tell you what I did before entering the chaos. I was a Bitcoin miner in the Netherlands. I was one of the first people to mine Bitcoin in Holland, in the Netherlands. And as you can see, I'm standing with my first rig of ASIC mining machines where Bitcoin was generated every single day. I was interested in the fact that I can create something out of electricity, out of air, out of nothing, and sell it for a decent price. So mainly I was interested in making money. And I didn't care about what this technology could do. I didn't have the vision for it at that time. All I was focused on is just making money. Until something happened in my life, a turn point, a point of chaos came when the Dutch immigration services asked me to leave the country since the reason to come to Holland was not valid anymore, and which was work. I came to Holland in 2010 to work, to be a skilled immigrant labor, or I came as a skilled immigrant labor. And in 2014, my work contract was expired, and the only reason or the only way to stay in Holland was applying for asylum. My father is Syrian. I carry the Syrian nationality. In 2014, it's the climax of the civil war, and the only option was to stay in Holland is to go and apply for asylum in the refugee camp. Now, in the refugee camp, I discovered my purpose. I refined my vision. I redefined myself, and the Invisible Man was born during this time. As you can imagine, the food in a refugee camp is not of what we have in a hotel or in a restaurant. We were, of course, blessed and thankful for what the immigration services have been arranging for refugees in the Netherlands. Yet, it was somehow redundant and dull to eat every day the same food. For breakfast, we had 2 slices of bread with some cheese and a little bit of jam and butter. For lunch, we had 2 boiled eggs and a cup of soup. For dinner, it was mainly half-cooked rice with some vegetables. So for one day, I was counting my blessings. For 3 weeks, I was convincing myself and staying positive that this is a healthy diet and I could lose some weight. But after a month passed by, I said, this is enough. I can't handle it anymore. There in the refugee camp, I remembered that the first product sold on the Bitcoin network was in fact a pizza. The famous pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin. And I asked myself, can we repeat that event? Can I order pizza and pay with Bitcoin? It took me a few minutes to Google and search for a pizza place that accepts Bitcoin as a payment. And to my surprise, there was a takeaway website called thuisbezorgd.nl where you can pay for any type of food you want, and the checkout process has an option to pay in Bitcoin along PayPal, along Visa card, MasterCard, and even cash. Now, as you can imagine, being an asylum seeker or a refugee in a camp, you are not allowed to have an identity yet. So this means banking services cannot be extended to you. Hence, Bitcoin was a life-saving, it was a life raft for many, including me, because now all what we need is a smartphone, an internet connection, and a Bitcoin wallet to be financially included. Bitcoin will not ask me for my first name, for my last name, for my date of birth, for my place of birth. It will not discriminate against my skin color, against my race, against my gender. And it gives me an equal opportunity to be financially included. So it didn't take me long to order the largest pepperoni pizza I could find and deliver it to the camp. And this was the moment that chaos was created. Chaos because this delivery guy wants to enter with the pizza in a very highly secure location, and no one is allowing him to enter. No one is believing him that someone has paid for a pizza inside this camp with magic money, with money that doesn't exist, money that you cannot see, you cannot smell, you cannot touch, and money that is designed and built for people like us, refugees and asylum seekers. So it took a little bit of convincing to the security guards to bring this pizza inside after showing him that we have paid for this pizza and showing him the transaction on the Bitcoin blockchain. It was a feast. It was a feast because suddenly we are able to enjoy food with many other refugees, and some of them as well started to think of other use cases for this type of technology, like sending money back home or getting payments for small micro jobs that they do, like translation, graphic design, website development, and so on. Tay was no longer the invisible man. Tay was no longer this person who was born in Kuwait, who lived in Lebanon, who worked in Dubai, and now is in the Netherlands. He speaks Dutch, he speaks English. Who are you? Are you a spy? Are you sent by the Dutch government to spy on us? Or are you sent by the Syrian regime to spy on us? This ambiguous character became the king of the refugee camp because suddenly I became the bank. I am able to transact. I am able to bring financial value to a place where it is neglected, discarded, and no one can offer services for it. So we went into a hackathon and we had the chance to win Startup Weekend in Utrecht in 2016 after 2 years spending time in a refugee camp. And I thought, hey, this is a new start out of chaos. This is a new start for me to pursue what I like: storytelling, public speaking, talking about digital identity and blockchain and cryptocurrencies, and how can we create positive impact using this tech stack. I did many TED Talks. I traveled the world. I even wrote a book about my story and about my journey and how chaos shaped my life and always brought new beginnings. And I thought, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna succeed in traveling in 2020 when the pandemic hit. The pandemic hit in March 2020 in the Netherlands, and all my public talks, all my workshops and events were cancelled. And it felt like I'm not even going back to square one, I'm going back to square zero, I would say, or even under zero. Because I wish I could go back to the refugee camp where I used to meet people, I used to sit with people and discuss ideas and talk about our future in the Netherlands. Now I'm isolated at home and we're not allowed to go out, and I'm connected only with my family, friends, and loved ones through the screen. Not only this, we were hit with what we call the bear market. Bitcoin prices were around $4,000, Ethereum was at $90, and changing or exchanging my crypto into fiat so I can pay my bills, pay my rent, and pay for my food was not really a smart option to do. I believe that Bitcoin has a big future in the financial markets and a huge future for development of humanity. And the only way for me to keep those Bitcoins was to look for a job. Applying for jobs at banks was not really helpful because of my Bitcoin and crypto convictions. Getting a job in government institutions was as well not helpful because of my status and lack of identity and lack of official documents. All what I have is what we call a travel document, which is basically a document given by the Dutch government to identify me, but it doesn't allow me to travel outside the borders of the European Union. In the pandemic, there was no traveling at all. So this document, whether it's Dutch or a refugee document, made little use. So the only plan I had was to, or the only option presented in front of me was to be a cleaner. And I started a cleaning job at a company called Bink in The Hague, where I clean offices from early in the morning till midday. And one day, as the staff was going for lunch, I realized that most of them, they left their laptops open. So I went back home and wrote a small LinkedIn post explaining the benefits of closing your laptop when you go out for lunch or when you step out of your desk. And not only this, greeting a cleaner is really helpful in making his day better and hence making the work environment in general a better place, a happy place to work, with a simple greet, with a simple good morning to the cleaner. The founder of the company, he found out that I'm in crypto and he asked me, Tay, where is your Lambo? Why are you cleaning here? And I explained to him, we are in a bear market. I do have a little bit of crypto and I don't want to change it now. And I prefer to work and to earn. And this is what we call the hodl mentality. Hodl is not just keeping your crypto and watching it. No, it is finding alternative ways of spending time, of spending value by keeping what is dear for you intact and alive. Hence, I did what I could do in order not to spend my crypto, and I found alternative ways of working and earning my income. What we did with the founder of this company was as well a big revelation for us, because we realized that today the problem in crypto markets, basically backing up your seed phrases on a piece of paper, you are talking about millions of dollars being backed up on paper. Myself, I have lost a lot of crypto because I don't know where my seed phrases are anymore. I forgot where did I write them, where did I save them? So we wanted to bring crypto to the Middle East. We wanted to bring crypto to the MENA region, to Middle East and North Africa, where it is mostly needed. And hence, there, while I was listening to those podcasts and listening to everyone talk about innovations in the crypto industry, we thought of Flus. Flus Finance is an ecosystem of financial services where we have a keyless wallet, a wallet where people do not back up their keys using seed phrases, but using something that we all have in common, which is our face. And not only this, it's not only about backing up your keys. We have a large number of people who cannot read and write English, who are illiterate, and they will be excluded from cryptocurrencies simply because of this usability issue in backing up your keys in English language on a piece of paper. I know there are hardware wallets, and I know there are many custodial services as well that would offer such services for the vulnerable people and for the illiterate people and much more. Yet what we believe in is being your own bank, having a non-custodial wallet with a backup option of your face as a way to retrieve your keys. We believe this is the way to get people, to get the masses into crypto. And not only this, Flus is about finding the best APYs for you in the market, so you're able to save your money by your own, in your own bank, in your own smartphone. Today we have negative interest rates in Europe, so if you're saving money in the bank is taking a small cut, a small fee out of it, and it's defeating the purpose of giving value, of giving your hard-earned time and money to this institution or the bank. In Lebanon, the chaos that we talked about in the beginning started when banks confiscated the money, the capital of people, the hard-working people who were living in Africa, in Dubai, in United Arab Emirates, in Abu Dhabi, in all cities and countries around the world where we have 15 million Lebanese in diaspora. Many of them, they worked hard and they're saving their hard-earned income back in Lebanon. What did the bank do to them? The bank confiscated their money. So this is where Flus, or money in Arabic, steps in to tell the people of the MENA region that we have a solution for you today to save your own money and to earn a little bit of reward on it. Now, what we realized as well and what we came to present at HCPP is one of the most things that I'm proud of, and it is a real manifestation of that chaos can bring a really value and can bring new beginnings. Back in the refugee days, when we were sitting in circles discussing and explaining what is crypto, there were not only Syrian refugees, there were Afghan refugees as well. And what we started 7 years ago in refugee camps, educating about crypto, it turned out that some of these Afghans have taught their families back home. And when the US Army withdrew or retreated from Afghanistan last month, what turned out to be is many of those refugees that we taught in refugee camps about Bitcoin, about cryptocurrencies, were able now to use this technology in Afghanistan. Hence, when Western Union closed the doors and closed the money movement and the money transfers in Herat, in Kabul, in Kandahar as well, we were able to bring value into those areas by working with international NGOs and providing for them the payment railways so that they can move their donations anywhere around the world into Afghanistan. It is something that proves for me personally and for the people that we work with, in the mid of chaos, a new life can always begin. and this is the proof in Afghanistan. We have a new life. We are seeing a new economy. In fact, as we are speaking today, our BTC Pay server is up and people are able to shop for products like sugar, like rice, like oil, and pay with Lightning Bitcoin. So this is why I came to HCPP, to show the people and to prove that if there is chaos, there is always a new beginning. So what I want to share with you at the end today is a very simple manifestation that indeed chaos is not destructive. Chaos is not the end, and chaos can be the beginning. But keep always in mind that technology by itself cannot create this new life. It is us humans who do. Thank you so much. My name is Tay, and I am the Invisible Man.